They say never review something you aren't qualified to critique. And since the start of this channel, I've reviewed everything from amps to guitars and other gear. And in every single instance, I was not remotely qualified to do it. And yet, I did. I mean, I have a YouTube channel. I can't help myself. I'm a hilariously arrogant and delusional amateur guitarist. It's my brand. But this time, it's different. For this one, I am, by all known metrics, maybe the most qualified person on the planet. For 9 months, I have been the target demographic for this thing. I am the guinea pig, the test subject, the lab rat. I am Yousician's target user. And this is my report. It all started in January of this year. I'd never touched a guitar before, never even played an instrument, and yet my blooming midlife crisis decided I needed to learn the guitar. And I wanted to learn on my own, but I had no idea where to start. So I did what any modern man of action would do, and I asked ChatGPT to list some guitar apps. And like a perfectly obedient silicon oracle, it gave me a list. Then I picked the first one, Yousician. And here we are 9 months later. I've clocked almost 200 hours on the app. I'm a level 5 guitarist, according to the app, and I'm currently halfway through level 6. And I got there the hard way. I didn't skip a single exercise, getting 3 stars for completion on every one of them before moving on. Because a man of my kind of resolve doesn't skip steps, obviously. And Yousician's been my primary method of learning, and I'm not pretending it's the best app out there. By now, everywhere I look, people seem to recommend things like Just Guitar and some other stuff. But I've also always believed it's less about finding the best course and more about sticking to one ruthlessly. I mean, sure, I've also watched some YouTube videos here and there. I'm not some NPC on a guitar learning loop. And I even made a custom GPT teacher to answer some of my stupid questions. But Yousician has been the backbone of this whole operation. I've tried to use it almost every day, anywhere from 15 minutes to several hours, averaging about 40 minutes a day. For those of you with the attention span of a hummingbird on a sugar high, I'm going to get straight to the verdict. I know this is highly counterproductive for my channel's watch time, so if you bell right here, you're contractually obligated to like and subscribe. So, can you learn guitar with Yousician? Can you actually make meaningful progress? Well, for me, the answer is a resounding yes. I realize not everybody learns the same way, and what worked for me might not click for everyone, but for me, it did. I mean, 9 months ago, I was just a guy staring at a guitar like it was some kind of alien object, completely clueless about even where to begin, and now I'm not ashamed to tell people I play the guitar. And I know that's not a very high bar, but I mean, let's be real, guitar is hard. And I'm satisfied with my current progress. I have no doubt that if I just keep showing up, I'll get a whole lot better. And here are 2 quick clips, one from my very first recorded exercise, and another showing what I'm working on today. So yeah, it worked. You can see the difference. And now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actual experience. Let's start with pacing and difficulty, because I mean, that's where most beginners either thrive or quit. And the pacing in the first 3 levels is pretty great. I had 0 experience and never felt totally overwhelmed. My OCD kept me in line, forcing me to get 3 stars on everything in order, and I never felt totally stuck. The only time I hit a proper plateau was in level 4 with a song called Pavane by some dude named Gabriel Fauré or something like that. I know, I got frustrated, I quit for a couple of days, and yeah, sometimes you just need to step away and reset before coming back fresh. And once I did, I got through it. And also, at first, I was rushing through the early levels, barely touching the song catalog. I just wanted to move fast. And looking back, I realized a better approach is to slow down and explore a bit more. After level 3, I started picking random songs outside the main catalog and lessons. And sure, my app progress slowed down a bit, but I actually started enjoying the learning process a lot more. And that's the approach I'd recommend to anyone starting out. And one of the things that really kept me coming back, though, was how the app gamifies everything. The scoring system, the streaks, the little achievements for completing exercises. I mean, they're all surprisingly addictive. There's something about trying to get 3 stars on each exercise and keeping the streak alive that kept me motivated, even on days I felt like quitting. And one thing I noticed early on is that the app spends a lot more time on single notes and melodies than chords. At first it felt a bit odd. It was like a teacher holding back the really fun stuff. I was itching to get to the chords, but yeah, eventually I just stuck to the lessons and waited. And also later they introduced concepts like string muting, and by that point I was already doing it instinctively, though I still had to look up the proper technique on YouTube. It really showed me how the app gradually builds up your skill level, even if some steps feel a bit out of sync with when you actually want or need to learn them. The song catalog itself is actually pretty impressive. There's a huge variety and most songs come in different versions for different skill levels, which makes it all really approachable. And what surprised me the most was how it nudged me into playing some classical pieces, stuff I would never touch on my own. And honestly, I really ended up enjoying some of it. It just goes to show that if you keep an open mind, you can learn and enjoy music from all sorts of genres. And I guess if you're only into one style, the catalog might feel a bit more limited, but for somebody like me who likes a bit of everything, it's great. And now, let's talk about the unspeakable. I mean, brace yourself. The app has far too many Coldplay songs. And the worst part, some of them are right in the core curriculum. I mean, imagine being faced with a level gatekept by a Coldplay song. This was probably one of the toughest choices I've ever had to make in my life. Do I play a song by a band that makes music for suburban Karens, or do I sacrifice my precious 3-star perfection streak? I mean, in a moment of weakness, my neurotic tendencies got the better of me and I did the unthinkable. It felt wrong, I felt dirty, and I may never forgive myself. Now, moving on, the app is also a masterclass in teaching you how to learn songs. At first, it lets you play complete, easy songs just by following along, which is fun and rewarding in its own way. But once you hit level 2 and the songs get more challenging, it starts teaching you techniques to really master a song, from breaking it up into parts, slowing it down, and then gradually putting it all together. What seems completely daunting at first actually becomes surprisingly manageable, and I was impressed with how much I could accomplish using this step-by-step approach. And there's also something else you need to know, and I learned it the hard way. I mean, the app actually listens to your play, scoring you and giving you feedback, which kind of means that the type of guitar you use can make a big difference. There's a crucial difference between acoustic and electric for certain exercises. Chord exercises work way better on acoustic, legato, hammer-ons and pull-off exercises easier on the electric. And I wish the app had explained me that, because it would have made some exercises feel a lot more natural right from the start. And I also have to admit something, embarrassing. At first I was using my Spark 2 and just picked whatever cool tone preset that I wanted, even when playing simple chords, and I had no idea how much the right tone actually matters for what type of exercise you're doing. I was strumming away with a metal solo tone on rhythm parts. It sounded awful and I didn't know why, and I really wish the app had a quick tutorial explaining the basics of tone, because it would have saved me a lot of confusion and head scratching early on. And the video lessons, while good, are a bit sparse. Usually you get one at the start of a new level, or sometimes at the beginning of a series of exercises, but yeah, they're short and covering just the basics you need. And while they're accurate, I often found myself wishing there were more, especially a few that zoomed in on proper technique. And sometimes I had to refer to YouTube videos to get a more detailed explanation of what was being taught in the lessons. And one final thing, you really need a tablet to get the most out of Yousician. The app's UI and design are solid, but when you're playing, you don't want to stare at a tiny phone screen. I started on my phone and quickly realized it wasn't so optimal. So I grabbed a mid-level tablet and a small tripod, and instantly it was way more comfortable. The lessons were easier to follow and I could focus on playing instead of squinting at a screen. It makes a huge difference for your overall experience. And as for the price, I paid €129 for a year on a promo, which honestly feels like a steal. I use it almost daily, and compared to paying for a traditional guitar teacher, it's a huge bargain. That extra money I'm saving means I can actually spend more on guitars, pedals, or anything else that fuels my guitar obsession. For the value it gives, I mean, it's really hard to beat. So here's the final verdict. Yousician is a seriously handy and fun tool if you want to learn guitar. It's by no means perfect, and it can't teach you proper technique. You'll still have to go to YouTube for that, but it is an incredible, powerful, gamified tool that keeps you motivated and gives you a structured path to follow. I'm satisfied, and I'm going to stick with it all the way to the end of the course until I reach guitar level 10 or whatever. And when I finally finish, I might do a big fun finale showing you exactly how far Yousician has taken me. I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Bye.